Well, it's great to get back to the Fallkniven fixed blade knife here in the Nut and Fancy project. It is 2024. I have two great knife testing areas that I've been using over the past 2 years. One is Ponderosa. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you have not been watching the videos. I've shown Ponderosa probably 5, 6, maybe 7 times at this point. And then a new one called Nagasaki. That's a high elevation testing clinic. I think at about 8,300 feet, something like that, elevation in the mountains. A burnt out area, tons of dead wood. Not too sure I can get to that in the winter time. Nagasaki's awesome. Great view, so it's high elevation. So in the background you can see the testing for this knife, the Fallkniven Modern Bowie knife. Tabletop review, Nut and Fancy project, big steel back in the project. Oh my goodness, do I love Fallkniven, however you want to say it. I just love the brand. They've stayed true to their roots. They have not become corporatized. I think most of their knives are still handmade in Sweden. They are expensive because they use top quality materials, and again, they're handmade. Now, if you want to go out and jump on an $80 Chinese produced fixed blade, I've reviewed some of them too over the years. They have their purpose. They're kind of nice, but they ain't this. This is like loaded up first and loaded up second cool. Fallkniven's always delivered that. So if you have a problem with their price, they are expensive. I'm not going to say they aren't. They are expensive. But if you have a problem with their price, go ahead and write the company. Fallkniven. Write them. Say, hey man, I don't like the pricing of your blades. I think they're a ripoff. I can go to Alibaba and buy a fixed blade knife for $52. That's what you should be selling them for. I dare you. Go ahead and do that. Let me know how that works out for you. There's plenty of demand for these blades. I don't care if they're expensive. It's kind of like Microtech. Microtech's super expensive too, but their knives seem to sell out all the time. Witness this one. The Microtech Osocom Auto. The Elite Auto. Oh my goodness, what a great knife. These never have a problem selling, and they've always been uber expensive and gaining in value. So this one, I forget how much I paid for it, but it's probably worth, in box, unmolested, $700 now. This purple one, I'm just spitballing here, but I bet that's pretty close. That's pretty close. And so, are these knives going to go up in value? Well, not while they're being produced. When they go out of production, I hope they don't, by the way. These Fallkniven Bowies. By the way, there's 4 knives I'm reviewing. 3 on loan, this one's mine. I hope they don't go out of production because they're just amazing. They might go up in value if they do, though. I think they're probably more popular in Europe. Fallkniven is a European brand, well known in Europe. European outdoorsmen, hunters, survivalists love and have used the brand for many decades. And like I say, it's a family-owned business. I just love that. And true to their core, they're all about not mass production, but good production. Top quality materials. Very old school in their approach, and like I say, as far as I know, and I've spent some time on their website over the last month, they seem to be true to what they were doing when I started TMP. So I reviewed the Fallkniven A1 in August of 2008, the A2 about the same time, the A2 Wilderness knife, and so important were those blades to the knife show here, they let out in the project because they were reference standards, and I have referred to them many times when I'm talking about a larger wilderness blade, larger combat knife. The A2 is amazing. There was another one I posted. It was called the Laminated Steel Showdown, and I think the Laminated A2 made an appearance there. The A1 also made another appearance in March of 2010 in a video called Wilderness Calling.
Excellent.
And in a couple other, not a couple, probably a lot of other videos, it's been a competitive option. I don't have the A1 or A2 at this location, so maybe I roll in some video or photos.
Timber.
But those have had a lot of exposure here in the project. I know a lot of you guys have purchased those knives over the years. I've never once heard a TMP contact me, say, hey, I'm selling my Fallknivens. You know who loves Fallkniven? Sean the TMPer. He is gaga over these knives. And he's one of the TMPers that bought off my original review. He got it in hand. He bought more because he loved it so much. So a lot of love. I just love the brand. I'm not beholden to Fallkniven in any way. They did not give me these knives. Did not loan me these knives. I got them from a different source. So I can say whatever I want, even though it's negative. You're not going to hear much negative in this video. Other than price. They're expensive. But, you know, like I said, a lot of great knives that have a reputation of quality and specialness are expensive. And I'll tell you what, guys that have purchased them kind of want it to stay that way. Can you imagine buying this knife? It was like super expensive. You bought this and then Microtech goes, hey, you know what? We're going to reset our prices. You guys were right. We're going to go ahead and make it $275. What do you think the owners of the Microtech knives, whatever version you want, like the SOCOM Elite Auto, do you think they would be happy? No, they would be pissed because they have an investment. They don't want it to go down. And so once you ensconce yourself in a higher price structure like Fallkniven has, Microtech has, in some ways, well, Benchmade is what I was going to say. They have too. Some of their knives are very expensive. This one's super collectible. No longer made. They don't even make this drop point anymore. This infidel drop point. Gone. It's gone up in value. But it wasn't inexpensive when it came out. So if suddenly they go, you know what, we're going to go ahead and cut down the infidel. We're going to make it $190 and make it in Taiwan. Yeah, you watch what true fans of the brand would say. They would revolt. And rightly so. Okay, enough about cost. I've covered that. Deal with it. If it's not in your wheelhouse for price, okay. You know, there's ways you could liquidate other things, which I do all the time, make more money, and you can buy them. Just what you consider as value, and we're all different in that. Sitting on the table, the first one we're going to consider is the Fallkniven Modern Bowie. It is a 10-inch blade, 0.29 inches in thickness, laminated cobalt steel. And all these knives are basically going to have the same steel. It's going to be 420J2 sides, which is ductile, and it can absorb shock and won't chip out. Then it's going to have a harder core, and the core will change depending on the steel. But think of it like Sanmai 3. And I covered that again a long time ago here in the project with the laminated steel showdown, and that video still plays. Go watch it. I talk all about it, and I'm showing you in field how it does. It's basically a 60 HRC cobalt steel, alloyed stainless steel, and a lot of these are made with VG10 with tungsten, more tungsten than normal, and with really excellent heat treating. Now, you can make the case, I guess, like, well, for that price, I should have this steel, that steel, S30, whatever. And, you know, I don't think those issues will ever be resolved because there's so much preference for steels. I'll say this, having worked all these knives, the A1, the A2, this Modern Bowie knife extensively in the wilderness, I don't see any shortcoming in the steel whatsoever. That's really the bottom line. Okay, and they're convex ground, which I have ranted about, and I go, oh, convex, please no. The reason I say that is because convex, for me, being a retard, is harder to sharpen. But let me say this. It does wear much better in the wilderness. Like a convex blade, when I work it out there, it will hold its edge way better than a normal grind. There, I said it. Can I sharpen a convex blade effectively? Yes, I can. It's more work for me. I can't use my Edge Pro Apex to do it, which is an automated, consistent sharpener, of which you should own in your system. Link below. Links for this below, by the way. Dude, yeah, this convex grind works for me, and it's not the only time we've seen it. A lot of the Bark Rivers, the beautiful Bark River Bowie knives, which I don't have right here. Maybe I show you one. I'll show you one very similar, just as good, if not better, than the Bark River Bowie before I end. They're the same way. They have the same grind. They do not have the laminated COS steel, though. I think a lot of those Bark Rivers are A2 and some other steels, which are good to be fair, but they're not really a wilderness knife. Another thing I love about this, the Fallkniven Modern Bowie, is it is designed as a wilderness blade. I did mention on the sly that these can be fighting knives. I will stick with that. They are Bowie knives. And we all know the history of the Bowie. I've read some excerpts from that fighting book about people get disemboweled with Bowie knives. It's gross. But they are basically hand swords, and they will serve as such. They're good. Fallkniven, they're not thinking of it this way. They're putting it together as a full-scale wilderness blade like I love. Something that can easily split wood, do hacking tasks. We're talking philosophy of use now. Build shelter, fire preparation. Probably a bit too big, even if you choke up on it for maybe some more finer camp tasks. I have made kindling with this, but I don't think it's ideal. I think a smaller knife is much better. Heck, even something like this. Here's one right here. Here's a Jesse Hemphill right here. This is a Town Creek. Something like that. That at the time, by the way, was inexpensive at $116 when I started showing it. You should have bought it then. Extremely hard to find. I think these are also made in Escanaba, Michigan, U.S. made. Jesse Hemphill, and I haven't seen a knife yet that he's put together that is just not amazing in quality. Little plug for Jesse right there. Don't even know the guy, by the way. This is a working blade, dude. That's what it's meant for, as evidenced by its craton handle, which is probably half an inch, 3/4 of an inch too short for me. I would prefer more real estate, a la Trailmaster. You'll see one here as a competitive option, but it is just big enough for my large size, maybe XL sized hand, as you can see. We have a short indentation for your finger, short choil right there on the grip, craton grip, minor hot spot right here for heavy work. The rest is nicely rounded. Full tang, of course, exposed at the back. Nice eyelet there for you. Grommet for you. I can't remember if I attached a cord or not when I was testing it. I probably didn't because I was lazy. But I didn't get cut up there, so that's good. And if I were to get cut up there, it wouldn't be good at Nagasaki. I'm too remote. Same old story. That's where I've tested these blades forever. Very remote locations. Look at that big old guard. All fitted stainless steel. Let's look at the line, see if we can see any gaps there. This again is the Fallkniven Modern Bowie knife, working knife. 10 inches of steel, laminated COS. Over 1/4 inch in thickness, dudes. Damn, that's a big chunky knife, dude. I love it. Love the lines on it. Beautiful Bowie lines, unsharpened swedge up here. And you can see showing signs of the testing process. So again, if I'm ever going to test a knife like this, I have to buy it. I have no one that will loan me a knife. Maybe you guys, because a lot of you guys who own these knives will like, yeah, test it, man. We don't care. You are awesome, especially the Patreon guys. Join Patreon. Link is below. There you go. Thank you very much. I have a PayPal link too if you want to throw some money my way to help offset the cost. I appreciate it. Yeah, some guys will do it, but the other knives I want to show you are so gorgeous. I don't know if I would go up to Nagasaki or over to Ponderosa and work them like I did this blade. And to be completely honest, it hurt my soul to even beat this knife up because it also is a beautiful piece of steel. But that's its calling. That's what it's meant for. Let's check that edge post-chopping, post-hacking, post-everything testing. And again, I got a little carried away on it. Do I regret that? No. Like I say, it's designed to be that way. I don't think that it's going to be like hair-raising sharp. Oh my gosh! Holy shit. Holy shit, dude. I am sincerely impressed with that. What am I cutting up, by the way? Oh, XGM10 note. That's sad. I reviewed that, though, so I'm okay with that. Look at that, dudes. Look at that. This is after chopping, hacking, taking it into the dirt. This is what I told you, dudes. Holy crap. Genuinely impressed with that. And there you go again with the cost. I mean, you're getting what you pay for, and that is a very durable steel. Top-notch materials. I let out with that. It's top-notch materials. Oh man, that's just a beautiful knife. Didn't chip out on this outing. And believe it or not, this is one outing. Albeit I worked the knife for like 2 hours. Over time, these Fallknivens can chip out on you. They do have a very hard inner steel, as I've said. And I think my A2 Wilderness has some chips in it, but here's what I say. Whatever. It's a stainless blade. Another upside that you don't have to constantly maintain it when the snow starts falling, the rain starts falling. It's ready to go. Let's look at the sheath here, which, I'll be honest, I kind of wish it was a Kydex sheath since this is a working knife, but this is what you get with your Modern Bowie. Pivoting belt loop right here, that's nice. Very top quality clasp here. Double stitching. Riveted, no drain holes. I like the sheath. As a leather sheath, I like it. It's just like we saw in the A2 Wilderness, right? I would like, with this one, to have a Kydex option made by Fallkniven. And Fallkniven, if you watch this video, make it out of thin Kydex. I don't want super thick Kydex. We do not need that. Here we go. Modern Bowie sheath. Oh my goodness, what a great knife this is. Okay, and so there's that review right there. Highly recommended. My link will take you to Pro Second Amendment Blade HQ. I think they're going to give you guys some special pricing on this. So I have talked to him. I was like, hey, if you can, give him a special price on it. I don't know the results of that. I hope it's an aggressive price to wherever else you could go. But I do like supporting Blade HQ for sure. On we go with the show, though. These are variations of what you just saw. But they're not really working knives, per se. I think they're more, if we're talking POU, these are more collectible knives. And they are pulse quickening, at least for me. This is the Northern Light series by Fallkniven. And I'll say, damn, I have the 10-inch, the 8-inch, and the 6-inch versions to show you. This is the Northern Light Tor. Oh my gosh. The thing is beautiful. Stacked leather oxhide handles in all of these variations. And I think if you go to Fallkniven's website, they have a discussion of why they use oxhide versus steer hide for these leather handles. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So this is very similar to what we just reviewed, right? The blades are very similar. I think the Modern Bowie, dude, look, same blade, pretty much same steel. Well, kind of. This one is not COS. It's laminated VG10W, which I mentioned earlier. But very similar performance. But I did not have permission to go up in the woods and slam on these, nor would I have. Because I already did it with this. Being so similar, I'm like, okay, I tested this. This is basically the same. There you go. Look at that gorgeous finish on that. Again, handmade. Not in China, not in Taiwan, not in the Philippines. In Sweden. Swedish. It's Swedish knife. Gorgeous. Super wicked sharp. I'll save a paper test. It'll be even better than the one I just showed you. This handle is long enough for me. Look at that, dude. Right there. This is the Tor in the Fallkniven Northern Light series, and I'm calling this a collectible knife. Now, let me know, if you bought this, would you go out and thump on it and really put some wear on it? And if you were going to use a camp knife, which between these two would you purchase? Would you buy the Modern Bowie knife with a craton handle and a big old lanyard hole for it, or this aluminum capped, still full tang Tor? Which one would you buy? My answer would be this one. If I know that I'm going out and beating on it, I much prefer this. I think a leather handle is nice, but if it gets wet, if it's in the snow, it can absorb more moisture. It looks to be epoxy coated right here. I could be wrong though. But many years ago, I have ruined leather handles out in the woods because of just that, absorbing moisture. Notice the lines in this one. These are basically Viking knives. These are all Viking knives. That's probably the title of this 4-for-1 review. But same unsharpened swedge, convex ground, ultra sharp, premium fitting, premium materials. Fallkniven. What a great company. Aluminum cap, there's a look. I would not hammer with this one. It's aluminum. I could be wrong. Maybe that is stainless steel, but it looks to be aluminum. I don't know. Here's your sheath. It's going to be a little bit different. Look at the symbol on there. That is cool. That is freaking cool. Fallkniven, getting it done with the symbology. That looks very Viking-esque to me. Same sheath kind of that we saw in the Modern Bowie. There are some changes. One, you have a way to get the strap out of the way. This is kind of cool. I've never seen this before. It's another snap where it'll just stay out of the way so you can insert the sheath without scratching it all up. And this is a snap belt clasp that will go over your belt. It does not have the rotational capability of the Bowie knife. We do have a thigh leather right here. And it's just slightly different. Same level of quality, black. This one, I think, needs a leather sheath. These two things go together. I think it would be maybe cooler if this was brown to match the handle. I'm talking like a very rich, dark brown. Everything else the same, rich, dark brown, and give your customers the option of which one to order. Watch what happens. They're going to go with the brown. Guaranteed. I guarantee you that, Fallkniven. They will do it. Okay, so that's a 10-inch tour in the Northern Lights series. We step it down just a little bit. I think this will be your guys' favorite. Also, laminated VG10. This is the Odin. Another great name. There it is in sheath. It's the same knife, just 8-inch blade. Oh my goodness. It just stirs my heart when I have these dudes. It stirs my heart. I just love them. They're so damn cool. Does this have a snap too? It does. Look at this, dude. That is a very functional fighting knife. Maybe an application that we could put on these Northern Lights series. Albeit the handles do lack some traction. You could mitigate that by putting some cordage through the hole here, wrapping around your hand, and it would help you lock the blade in for work against the zombie hordes. The thickness on this is about the same as a Modern Bowie. All of these are 7mm thick or 0.28 inches on these handmade Swedish fighting knives, collectible knives. This again is the Odin. Excellent corrosion resistance, proper heat treatment, don't forget that. Nothing fancy. Why do you like Fallkniven so much? I just do. I told you, I led the project off with Fallkniven. It was so important to me to turn the world on to these blades back in 08. I'm reviewing them. Here's the next smallest one, the Njord NJORD 6 inches. And like you tell your wife, 6 inches is plenty to get the job done. There you go, dude. Look at that. Oh my gosh. And they're all properly labeled. Round of applause for Fallkniven for doing that. Every knife should have that. I'm shocked, astonished how few do it. Same knife, shorter blade, 6 inches. This now opens up a different philosophy of use of being an overall camp knife. So if you're going on a deer hunt with your bros, break out your Njord and see what happens. They're like, dude, what do you have there? It's like, it's a Swedish-made fighting knife. I just decided to take it on the deer hunt this year. They're all going to want to handle it, and they're probably going to want to steal it, keep track of it closely. I'm not joking. It may just disappear. They're like, hey, where did my Fallkniven go? I don't know, dude. Haven't seen it. I don't know. There's a smaller one in the lineup. It's the Frey. I don't have that one. Couldn't get it. These are my three favorites. So in the Northern Lights series, every single one of them has my highest recommendation. Every single one of them will perform just like this one has, just like the A1 has. Oh, and I did an S1 Forest knife review also, just like that knife did. Great stainless steel camp knife, by the way. And the A2 half. So across the line, I've never brought a Fallkniven out of the woods and go, you know what, this sucks. It's overpriced. I've never done that. And if it was that way, I would let you guys know. Competitive options. Well, in the background here, once I zoomed out, you might have been lusting after this. This is a Jesse Hemphill Bowie knife. Gorgeous blade. And I'm having a real hard time seeing these anywhere. I know he batch produces these. And these are also collectible knives. This is a focused fighting knife, an ode to Old West Bowie knives, as I said in its review. And again, the little brother is the Town Creek. Great pairing. And these Jesse Hemphills, when they were out, oh my goodness. This is what I paid for this, $250. There's your steel, there's your weight. Jesse Hemphill, properly labeled Bowie. Oh my goodness, what a gorgeous knife. That's got that long, beautiful fighting, unsharpened swedge, strong tip. All these have strong tips. Beautiful, long handle on that. Oh my goodness, this is so beautiful. On that polished micarta, this is black micarta on this Jesse Hemphill. Let's compare it against, well, the Tor for size. They're about the same, bro. About the same. This is a thicker knife, heavier duty knife. And if we're talking sword action, probably a more deadly Swedish Nordic Viking sword. And then this one, so if you guys are like, oh, I love those, I love them, I love them, I love them. I don't have the money for them. Well, do you have the money for the Trailmaster? Because it's still very hallowed in the Nut and Fancy project. This is just a carbon steel Trailmaster SK5, as memory serves. I've resharpened it, re-edged it. I backed that edge up a lot. And it's a very excellent knife. I'm not going to say it's as good as these. I've broken a Recon Scout up there. I broke it right here, and it was very cold when I did it, and it was a genuine cold steel product, and I was just batoning with it. Would that happen with these knives? I can't say for sure, but I would highly doubt it. The steel is so well made, and you have that ductile exterior. I don't think they would. But, go ask the owl. These are great, though. If you get it in the Sanmai 3 version, the Trailmaster, and the smaller Recon Scout, which is just like these. The Recon Scout about be the size of this Odin. Fantastic blades. I mean, they're awesome fighters. They're awesome wilderness blades. Probably too heavy and thick. These are about a 1/4 inch thick to put in your BOKs, your survival kits. I sure do love them. And speaking of leather sheaths, here's one that's been used for, heck, when did I buy this? Probably 06 is when I bought this. And then it was in the project multiple times. Maybe I go out and do an IS episode, which will be quite gratuitous because you already know my answer on the Cold Steel Recon Stout and Trailmaster. And I have a Sanmai 3 of one of these, but I couldn't find it this evening. Not in the amount of time that I wanted to spend looking for it. And some others. Dig into my playlist. This video is going to go way too long anyhow. Well done, Fallkniven. I mean, I am super impressed with these knives. The worker of the series is the Modern Bowie. Great name, by the way. I cannot fault the performance of this blade in any way, shape, or form. And these Tors, the Odins, the Njords are amazing. And you guys are like, well, I can't really spend that amount of money on a knife I won't use. Well, let me know if you would use it. And let's say if you went out and bought a Tor, would you take it out on a family camp out and just beat on it? I say go for it with an asterisk. The asterisk is if you ever intend to resell it, probably don't do that. Because if you keep the boxes, you keep everything the knives came with, I think you will be able to sell it for about what you got it for in the secondary market. All the quality blades have proven that to be true. Which some people early in TMP were like, it's bullshit. Wow. It's a factory-produced knife. And now they say, oh, you know what? Those Microtechs have really gone up in value. Sometimes like 400%. Don't know if that's going to happen with the Fallknivens, but it could. Nut and Fancy Project Fixed Blade Knife Review. Feature length brought to you again by the donors to the project. So big round of applause to them and you for watching this video from start to finish. Before I go, this is a Cat 12 M3 motor grader. If you have one and want to donate it in new condition to the project, I will take it. Thank you very much. Look at that machine. These are expensive too. I'm talking the real machine. Oh my gosh, they're so expensive. This is a sick watch. This is the new Mudmaster or Gravity Master. Which one is it? It's the, there it is right there. GWG B1000. I think it's the Gravity Master. 52, 16 by 58. And damn, are they expensive. Smart enabled. All upgraded. They're excellent watches, but I will say in this review that I'm very disappointed how Casio has just continued to make their, what do they call it, Master of G series unreachable for most people. There, I'll say it. Can't say it about these Fallknivens because they've always been expensive. Like the entry price on the A1, A2, always expensive, even going back to 2007, 2008. This is the, who's this? X-Wing fighter. Oh yeah, Poe Dameron's X-Wing. So fun, dude. And I'm out of here. Thanks again. See you soon.